You're watching a computer simulation of the real stresses an actual earthquake puts on various buildings.
And this is a side view.
Simulations like these help engineers better predict whether buildings that some initially thought were safe are in fact able to withstand a real earthquake.
And we're kind of understanding what the faults are capable of, how much energy they're releasing.
Civil engineer David Marr owns Marr Structural Design, hired by UC Berkeley to assess its campus. Marr says earthquakes like Loma Prieta here and the Northridge quake in 1994 have helped engineers statewide understand how to construct more resilient buildings.
And they actually have to transform, dissipate energy, remain stable.
Marr says those earthquakes also revealed which buildings are not up to the challenge. That's why officials at Cal State East Bay demolished this old Warren Hall in 2013. Considered the most unsafe building in the entire CSU system, this tower, which once held the president's office, is now a parking lot. We wanted to know exactly how many of these problematic buildings are still standing in the university system. So we teamed up with our fellow NBC investigative teams in LA and San Diego to request seismic safety inspections for every public university. The records we've obtained so far show 591 structures pose a serious risk during an earthquake and need to be retrofitted or replaced.
You know, it's a structure that a lot of people don't even realize they're in.
At San Francisco State, 9 different buildings, most located on the Tiburon campus, are listed as most problematic or priority 1, needing to be replaced soon. Another 9 SF State buildings are listed as priority 2 and should also be replaced.
And every campus has a similar set of priorities.
University spokesman Barry Schiller says the campus knows firsthand how destructive an earthquake can be. After Loma Prieta, school officials were forced to red tag and implode this student dorm. What's being done to fix these 9 buildings?
Most of them were red tagged a couple of years ago and are now not in use. Some of them are going to be retrofitted. Many of them probably will not. They will be demolished and eventually replaced.
Are people in danger? Those are buildings that are highly occupied. It's on the second list, but are they in danger in the event of an earthquake?
Right. So going back to the seismic review process, retrofitting was done on those buildings. The seismic committee reviewed all of that work, deemed the buildings all inhabitable. But there is still more work to be done and will be done once funding is freed up.
The CSU system lists 65 buildings statewide that need to be secured or demolished. But the vast majority of college buildings that fail to make the grade are on UC campuses, according to the data we obtained. The UC system is currently in the midst of a 2-year process to inspect every structure on all 9 campuses.
It's a big problem, needs to be addressed.
68 of those highest risk buildings are at Berkeley, another 69 at UC Davis. They include fire and police headquarters, research centers, major classroom buildings, a medical center, even a lab handling radioactive nuclear material. You're looking at the buildings that may be problematic, yes, based on prior knowledge.
Yes, yeah. They're being tested harder than say we thought, say 10 years ago.
How big a risk are some of these buildings?
It's a really great question. The safety standards are really high, and they're worried about these extreme, rare, gigantic earthquakes. Think of 1906 happening again. So this isn't Loma Prieta. This isn't even Northridge. So people are being good about doing something while we have time. It's like don't panic, but don't delay.
Now, officials with the UC System's president's office refused to answer our questions on camera, but they did send a statement that reads in part, quote, "The University of California believes it is important to proactively upgrade its buildings, that the university is seeking to exceed current state requirements and are doing so, and, quote, the university is exploring sources of funding to help pay for it, including a bond to which will be put to the voters in March of next year, which will help pay for all these needed retrofits, something that we've been told could cost billions of dollars." We'll stay on this story. Back to you.